I told you it was shorter. Where's the camera? My son changed it up on me, which is in a better position. But I told you it was shorter. Red Riding Hood, if you're still here, thank you for coming. Viral Videos, which is my son, one of his channels. Thank you for coming and showing up. And Camping Therapy, I did. I said, it's shorter. It's shorter. My niece-in-law is my stylist, and I wanted it shorter, and she cut it shorter. So it grows back. Buckeye Kitty, well, thank you for coming. I think it's the first time I've had you in a chat. I need to grab my paper so that I can note down anybody who's not normally in my chat who's here today. No, Catherine, there hasn't been a question yet, but I'm just noting down Buckeye Kitty. I have never had the pleasure of meeting you, but I do know about you from Box Van D, from Roy and Becky's Travels, from Catherine. So I'm a little familiar with who you are, but thank you for coming to this live stream. And let's see, who else have we had here? Travel Dreamer, thank you for showing up. And of course, we've got Doreen. Oh, okay. Well, I intentionally stopped that right there because there's going to be a second part. And I think that didn't get translated well. I just tried a new method editing. Exploring Canada. Thank you. I've seen you around places I didn't know you were. So it's good to see you here. I don't think I had a question. Spike like in the video. Okay. Travel Dreamer, Hawkins Family Adventures. Thank you for showing up. Glad you're here. Hope you're doing well. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And we love Catherine and Homer. We really do. We appreciate them. And if I could, if there's two different groups that I would love, that I enjoy. I enjoy Catherine and Homer, and luckily they also have spent time with Roy and Becky. And there's Kaylee, of course. And okay, so BFF. All right, BFF. This is a long time for you to be hanging in, and I know it. So thank you for showing up and hanging in there. I don't see any of the rest of my family, but that's all right. Lisa counts as my family. She is your hair. Yes, my hair, I told you, it was shorter. It's shorter. And it will be growing a little bit. I don't want long hair again, but this is a hair too short, but I'm all right with it. I am no longer that egocentric. Oh, no problem. I get distracted every 15 seconds. And we have SRR Founder 1. Cat, oh, cool. I know who Cat is. So SRR Founder 1. SRR Founder 1 is Alexander also your friend? I maybe. So we have cute. The video I met. We love you too. Question that you see in the video. Okay, somebody posed a question over here. So I'm going to go back over there real fast. And I'm going to look and see about comments, Catherine. And see if I can find it real fast for you. So I'm not looking at the chat for a second since I have switched over to try and find the question for you. As soon as it loads up, all right. Let's see the chat. I always make it so that the chat's available after. Well, hon, I don't see the chat. I don't see the chat. So if somebody posed her a question during the premiere, could you let her know? Yes, I will spike it. I love spike hair. So it's perfect for that. Yes, that's kind of the reason I did it. I know they're your Nomad family, and it couldn't, clearly couldn't have better Nomad family. And okay, yep, Lisa's part of my family. So hair too short. Hair too short. Cute. That's cute. Just a hair too short. But guess what? About 15 seconds and it's I know that's just laziness. Just making sure, catching up on the chat, and then we'll go into some conversation with Catherine. Hello, hello. All right. So, all right. I think I've seen everybody. And Lisa, Kaylee is one of my I would consider one of my YouTube BFFs. Kaylee is someone who holds my channel together when I'm doing a live stream. She can finish questions and answers for me, just like she has known me my whole life. I don't know how that is, but she is, because she's a super smart lady. All right, so okay. And I'm checking to see who I have for moderators. And then I'm going to drop a link for Catherine. And then, Catherine, if you'd like to come up and we can answer any questions, or you can answer any questions someone might have. We're going to talk a little bit about, some of the mistakes. And I'll talk from my own experience. And my husband is standing right over there. And Catherine, he didn't learn from. So when you mentioned that Homer said you were just going to bring a jack, Richard just before that said, oh, wow, we need a jack. And then you told the story of how he's there. It's not safe. It's not safe. And that he didn't hear, if you know what I mean. And the reason I'm checking for moderators is so that, all right, so I've got a couple of people who can moderate. If you would not mind dropping your own links if you're moderator. Additionally, for Buckeye Kitty, Catherine does not yet. The Hawkins Family Adventures as well. I'm going to make you a moderator. And so if you see someone with a channel, if you wouldn't mind dropping the link, because for me, it's important that happens. All right. So I dropped the link for Catherine, I believe. Yep, I did. And when she shows up, we'll bring her up. So, and here she is. Okay, if you're ready to go, Catherine, just give me a wave. Okay. Hey, Catherine.
Hi, my lighting okay here, or do I need to turn a little bit?
If you could turn a little bit. It was better just a second ago, but if you could turn a little bit. Yeah, that's a little better.
How about that?
Yeah. Well, it's back to dark again.
I don't have a magic light.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Now we see your face. No, perfect. Okay. Perfect. So, you mentioned the tires. Now, one of the mistakes that I have seen and I've known of, and I was just having Richard was just, we were talking about this earlier, tires. You mentioned, I think 3 times you had tire issues, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I know that as someone who was new, it didn't dawn on me that, I mean, yes, I know tires need to be good. You know that tires need to be checked and that whatnot. I didn't know what checking was. You know, when the tires get kind of like cracked on the outside, I didn't know that's necessarily a bad thing. But especially when you're carrying the weight of an RV on your shoulders, like an RV body is, and then the tires underneath. So there was a question before we go into any more. Question. Oh, I see. Catherine Cook, do you have a tire monitoring system on your vehicle? Someone asked that.
No, okay. I don't see the question, so you're gonna have to read them off to me. But no, Homer checks the tires all the time. He carries a compressor so we can air up our tires.
Okay, so Homer's the tire monitoring system.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
That's the thing you do before you take off. You check your coolant, your oil, your tranny fluid, your tires, just to make sure, because why we were blowing tires. We were not checking them before taking off. And luckily, if they're back dualies, you can still drive. But if you blow the front ones, no, you're stuck wherever you are.
Right, right. And by the way, the idea that someone is just going to jack up their RV, whether it, is a Class C or,
Hmm.
whatever, unless it's a van, a Class C or bigger, I believe is probably too big to just jack up and start changing out tires on the side of the road.
Yes, yes, you don't want to do that.
No, no. Okay, so there's another question here from Kaylee. Do you plan to buy a couple of acres as base, like Full Tiny House just did?
At this time, no. We will probably be at Full Tiny Houses property, Eric's property. Uh, Maybe go up to Aja. She's up in Williams somewhere. I haven't been to her property yet. That's not in the plan for us right now, money wise. You'll On part two, you'll see how bad last summer is. It pretty much wiped us out money wise last.
Right, right. Yeah, there's going to be, so the next part is going to be talking about some other issues that happen on the road. And it's not that anybody does anything wrong. Okay, so nobody plans to have tires blow or engines to blow for the second time in 2 years. The head gasket to go two times,
Yeah.
in 2 years, or any of the other, for a windshield to be broken and have to be replaced. Nobody plans for that stuff. It's that the planning ahead in some way. And you had you have been towed, for instance, and you're blurry now. You have been towed before,
Yeah.
which was $1,000. Am I correct?
Yes. That
Yeah.
where you ended up, that was a towing, and we had to come up with $1,000 just to pull it back 7 miles.
And I would say a lot of people leave their driveway without $1,000 in their pocket to be towed down the road. You know what I'm saying? That
Yep.
that preparing ahead of time is not the most, and I would include myself. Now it's we'll just, that is one of my issues. I don't have a big amount of money in case of an emergency. Um, Well, okay, so here Camping Therapy was talking about she had a blowout. Did I pass it? There's Boondocking with Boomer. Hey, Lance, how you doing? Glad to see you here. Thank you for stopping in. So I believe I saw Camping Therapy talking about she had a blowout. But she is in a small crossover kind of van SUV type of vehicle. It's not big. And by the way, and her little RV, her little trailer, if you've not seen her stuff, it's adorable. Seriously, I love it. I can't live in it. I couldn't live in it, but it still doesn't mean it's not adorable. So anyways, yeah, she has had a blowout before. Not the most uncommon thing. Um, so we've been through that question and that. And then Buckeye Kitty, I had a blown tire November 1st and July 2nd, both on trips back to Quartzsite.
Yeah. That was in her trailer, not her truck.
Okay. I was going to say, is that's on the trailer?
Yeah, she has a trailer and a truck that she
Okay.
pulled.
I think those are just going to be things, the things that are going to happen. And so being prepared. Another piece of being prepared is having travel insurance as much as is possible on a vehicle, whether it be AAA or it be Sam's Club or whatever, that backup insurance. And I do know and I understand that they're not going to come. Let's say you go deep into one of the LTVAs or way off grid. They're not going to come and tow you out. That is my understanding of those insurances. They don't come and tow you out. So you've got to be able to get to the mouth, so to speak, the road where they're going to come and get you from. So camping therapy.
That may be a question that you asked too. Your insurance or the tow people, how far off? If you have AAA or Sam's, how far will they go off the road? Pretty much,
Yes.
They won't go off the road.
So that's important to know and be absolutely certain about, and not, like I know that sometimes I make an assumption, and we know what happens with assumptions. It's a bad idea. So make certain what we know about our insurance. Camping therapy, everybody grab a side. Yeah, camping therapy, she could pick it up with one hand, she said, by hand. She says Kaylee actually has handles in the front to move it around by hand, but it weighs about 1,000 pounds. There was another channel that I watched for a long time, and they had a very small camper similar to yours, Doreen, and they moved it all the time. It was an interesting little setup. They were young. They didn't mind being scrunched up. Kaylee, some folks are lucky. They use their rig as a daily driver and never blew a tire. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty lucky. As far as I've been driving since I was 15, I think I had one for sure when I was young, like 18, and I was on Interstate 5, and I was passing a truck, and I had retreads on my big Catalina car. And the driver's side retread came off. And I was able to get it beat up the inside wheel well. Oh gosh, so bad. So I remember that I was able to get it off the road and I was right by an exit to Coburg Road. I remember that. I was able to walk across the bridge and get to a gas station. It was long before cell phones. I needed to get to a phone. Camping therapy says, I have good Sam roadside assistance. It includes towing my camper. So do you want to, again, share your experience with trying to get a tow this time? One of the reasons you were trapped on the roadside for so many days?
Our insurance couldn't find a tow truck that could pull us. We had a lot of problems of them not being able to find our account. They couldn't. They thought we were a car. It was just a big mess. And it came down that we had people stopping to make sure we were okay, had water, and then somebody came by and gave us Sam's card, and we ended up calling us, and he told us where we're at now on his property for nothing.
So that was really a good stroke of luck. And camping therapy did not have a blowout. It was Buckeye Kitty. So you had the insurance, and you were not like in the middle of nowhere. By the way, where you were at, I pulled it up on a map because I was so worried I just felt bad that there's nothing we could do. And I knew you had you have many people in your neighborhood, so to speak, who would come to your aid in a really serious emergency. But so my point is, you weren't in the middle of nowhere, and your insurance, a good insurance, could not get you a tow truck.
Yep. They just couldn't find a. When you're looking at towing a Class A like this, you need the big guys like what pull semis.
Sure.
What Sam has on his tow truck, he was able to pick us up and pull us back to his property. So I don't understand why my insurance, I'm not going to say their name, I don't want to deal with it, couldn't find us a truck. Well, technically, they found us somebody, and I got a text saying 15 or no, 30 minutes to an hour. We may be there. I waited 30 minutes. I called them. He said, "You're too far away." I wanted to say a nice four-letter word to him and hang up. I just hung up on the guy. I was so pissed. It's like, thank you, you Emma. So, and I mean, I was dealing with it first day, 5 hours on the phone trying to just get to roadside service. So, it was 8 days of pure hell for us till we got to Sam's property. So, I don't ever want to have a day like that ever again.
And luckily he's not a serial killer. See, I think so many
Yeah,
people were worried, is this man a serial killer? But he was not a serial killer, and there are still good people in the world. And
yes.
yes. But see, you also.
But I also, on my phone, we have people that follow us. Full Tiny House has followed us on the map. Two of my children follow us. So at any time, they could look and see where we're at. And like Buckeye Kitty is one of those that follow me on my map. It's like, why haven't you moved? And it's like, I can't get a damn tow truck. So, we were back and forth during all this crap. And it's like, I can't move because I can't get a tow truck. So,
Right. You had to have a
anyway.
tow. There's some things
Hmm.
that can be done on the side of the road. There's some things that cannot be done on the side of the road. And,
Yeah.
you were in a situation, you had to be towed or leave the vehicle, and it's your home. It's your home. So, Kaylee, I kind of had an idea you were probably directing that one at me, but yes, I have to have a daily driver. Somehow, some way. I just don't see um, going back yet, like for a long, long trip, without either being able to pull something with our RV, and I just don't believe we can safely, or for longevity purposes, we would end up in trouble. And I know that. I sense that. And I'm not stupid. So I'm going to pay attention to that knowledge. So my goal would be, if when we go for any longer, like long stay, would be able to have switched over into another situation, either a truck with a bumper or something, to pull. And that to me would be as close to ideal as possible. Um, so redhead, I would think your weight was more. You're renting therapy. I rented one that was 1,000 pounds, and just was a bed basically, and a kitchen in back, like a trunk kitchen. Oh no, hers is. Yeah, make sure you go check hers out. Drop each other's channel links, and go check each other out, please. Buckeye Kitty, definitely going to get another company. Poor service and left hanging on the side of the road in July. Son ended up changing tire for me. Experience back in November. Fella did a terrible job. That's really, I don't know. It feels like they don't care about the people that are paying their wages, so to speak, and I just don't understand that. All right, and I lost the chat. I'm just still trying to find you. I don't know how that happened. Kaylee, all right. Camping therapy, maybe one company had and an inexpensive rider in your insurance policy. So, and I'm thinking that you can have all the insurance you want. They will also let you pay that $1,000 up front and then reimburse you. So they may not be able to find somebody in the area, and that's ridiculous, especially in Arizona, that is a highly traveled area for nomads. I mean, especially again, this was not deep in the woods. It was generous of him. Awesome. Oh yes, yes. They got extremely lucky. But here's the way I look at it. I don't see it as luck for Catherine and Homer, and I mean this. Catherine and Homer are good people. Homer helped us without question. You know, no question. He helped us tremendously. I'll never forget him coming in that one day and just pulling out that nasty carpet. He just said, "I'm not letting you have this in here any longer." And he just came in and started tearing it out. You know, they're good people. And so that's karma. You know, that's karma coming back in a positive way. Buckeye Kitty, yeah, I was on Interstate 10 past Las Cruces, New Mexico with my company. Don't have a breakdown of any kind on a Sunday and a holiday weekend. Oh, okay, so we can plan around that. Very, yeah. Kaylee says, wish we could scan people to see if they're serial killers or not. That's a great idea, Kaylee. So we, you know, the issues that we all have to be aware of when we're traveling, I think are partly common sense. I know I was excited. Let's see. Buckeye Kitty, that's scary every minute. Spent broke down. Oh, this is Kaylee, another serial killer opportunity. So some people, I'm not saying who, but some people could have a concealed carry permit. You never know. Okay, camping therapy, mine is all fiberglass, so it's lightweight. Yep. What is the name of your brand of trailer, Doreen? Buckeye Kitty, her birds in the background are having a good, and they're several feet away and around a corner. Okay, these birds are crazy. I've tried getting them therapy, but they will not talk to the therapist. Buckeye Kitty, the fella came to change my tire back in November, was contracted by Good Sam Roadside Service. That's really sad to hear. Red-headed Riding Hood. I sold my RV in May of 2022. Then I got a RAV4 Toyota hybrid, and I love it, but not to camp in, though, but I may do for a bit in Glorious Life on Wheels meetups. Yeah, that's cool. Homer's awesome. Yes, he is. Dropping links. Thank you so much. Hopefully they'd see the look on my face and be like, nope, too much crazy for me to kill. I'm out of here. Yes, me too. So camping therapy has a 1987 Cadet. I'm trying to get a link. Okay, that would be great. I'd definitely show that. They are loud, huh? Yes, they are. So we lost a bird last week. My son and I had just been in there talking to them, and 20 minutes later, Richard comes and tells me that one of the birds is dead on the bottom of the cage. No apparent, there's no blood, no nothing. It's just dead. And so we don't know what caused it, but it's never a fun thing to have to deal with losing it, because I've come to really enjoy the birds. I don't enjoy their chatterboxness when I'm doing a live stream yet. It was just weird. All right. So here's a 41-second video of my okay. I will pull that up. Hold one moment. So Catherine, if you wanted to, let's see. So if you wanted to give some advice while I'm getting her YouTube video up, some advice on things that you highly recommend and any information that new people or any of us, because it's like I'm fairly bright most of the time, and then I didn't think about the amount of money a breakdown could cost us. So anything you give as advice would be extremely useful.
Just be ready for the unexpected. It may be your tires. In your case, when you were down in Courtside, it was the bearings. You went over to the only shop that I know in Courtside. They quoted you $800 for your bearings. And Homer said, "That's crazy." Homer turned around and said, "Go get the parts. This is what you need." And he did them for you. He greased them up, put it all back together, and you sat there and watched him do the whole thing. I mean, if you have a husband or a partner that can fix things like Homer, it's good to have them with you because all my basement areas underneath the RV has tools. You have to have tools for whatever, whether it's checking your tires. You need that tire gauge. You need, funnels and stuff to pour in for your oil, your transmission, stuff like that. But mainly just if you don't know this stuff, YouTube's here. Put it in. How do you change a tire? How do you add oil if you don't know how to do stuff like that? So the information's out there. You just have to be ready to be able to find it. And when you do break down, don't panic. You're going to be in stress mode anyway, and you're going to have to deal with that. But, that will soon pass, and your brain starts to think, okay, this is what I need to do next.
Right, true. And I remember that quote. I was stunned, to say the least. I was just stunned. I don't know
Yes.
how people. Yeah, I don't know how they live with themselves because there's no way. Richard has changed the bearings in our car before. We had a Toyota Camry, and right before it got totaled, right within that month, he had just changed the bearings out. Okay, so I'm going to go grab that. I'm trying to get to the link uh, that Doreen shared. Just okay, back it up. Okay. Just it's just taking me 2 steps to do it is all. So hold. Um, all right. I got to bring it in to the live stream. Took me a second. I can't believe I had a little struggle there, but I did. Share the screen. All right. So this is Doreen's RV, her camper. Oh, this is wrong. Although, oh, here it is. Yes, 1987. Love the colors. I love it. And I believe you did almost all of the work in there, except for a couple of things. Correct? You did the painting. I love the colors. It's perfect. Question: how are you keeping cool in this weather? That comes from Travel Dreamer 46.
That's for me.
Yes.
Uh, right now, I have two fans on us. All the windows are open. Last year we did, weather-wise, it was 70 to 80. Up here in Snowflake, we are dealing with 80 to 90-degree weather. I have a scarf that I put on my head. I wet the top of it. This is my fabric. I wet the top of it, and it sits on top of my head to keep me cool. We have a dog that's a Chihuahua Jack Russell. She gets panting hard. I have a bandana for her that I get wet. I wrap it around her neck. She doesn't like it, but too bad. She has to be cool, or else you can lose your animals that way too. Um, that's what I do. I just put stuff on my head, wet your head, to jump in the shower, get all of you wet. I happen to have the same muumuu on that I had on when I did the interview. So just wear the least amount of clothes. If you can get a dress that you can wear just your underwear on underneath or nothing at all, if you're in your RV, nobody cares. So
That's right.
just, wet your muumuu, put it on, and that's all you can deal with. You're going to be sitting on your furniture and getting it wet. So what? It's going to be dry in 15 minutes anyway. It's no big deal.
Yes, yes. The whole towel thing. I saw there's also these cooling towels, and I happened to see
Yes,
somebody. We went and we my son and son-in-law, they drink a lot of soda. Now occasionally I'll
yes.
steal one of those sodas, but I'm not really a soda drinker. I just love straight ice water. But so about once a month we'll take in the cans, and I've done a video from there. I don't know if I posted it yet, but because it's an interesting place. But there was this people in kind of an older class A in front, and they were bringing in some cans, and they both had on those cooling towels. I knew it
Hmm.
was a cooling towel, and that they travel, and it
Yeah.
makes sense to me. If I were on the road and I didn't have access to AC all the time, first of all, I would be really tough to live with, but I would acclimate to it. And but those cooling towels really do help.
Or a secondhand store just to get a cheap scarf. That's
Yes,
lightweight. Wet it to the part around your neck and just wrap it around to keep you wet and have moisture on you. If not, have a spray bottle that you just spray your face with, your hair with. And the thing is, because I have several spray bottles around here, make sure you mark it that it's water and not bleach water that you sprayed into your hair and into your scarf that changed the color of it.
yes.
So,
Yeah, good point. Here, Buckeye Kitty says, "I work so hard on my stuff. I've been behind because life, physical pain, and depression get in the way. But I'm finally caught up into November um, 2022. LOL. Life and
yeah,
depression and all of the things that many all of us live with life. Okay, there's with or without depression, life just happens, and just no way around it. And and then you put depression on top of that and pain. I understand,
yeah.
Buckeye Kitty, very well.
The thing with Buckeye Kitty is a nurse. She was attacked in a hospital, so she had to deal with that attack, and she wants to get back to being a nurse. But after being attacked like that, how do you go back to being with somebody this close, taking vitals in that, and not feel like you're going to be attacked again?
Yeah. Well, PTSD, that sounds like, potentially
Yeah,
PTSD. PTSD is very real, and it can be so debilitating. Um, I know people with PTSD for various reasons, and one of them is trauma caused by other people. And it is hard, to not think. So here's a great example. It's different, but it is PTSD. So we have a German Shepherd that we inherited from my nephew. And the reason we inherited, because he and his other dog, who he'd had longer, um, uh, which is a pit bull, but not a vicious pit bull. Okay, it's not, the seething, horrible, ugly animal that people envision. Loki was a
Yeah.
beautiful, precious dog, just like Czar is, the German Shepherd. But something happened between them, and we don't know what it is. They talk to each other just like humans do, but in an animal way, of course. And but the bottom line is they did not get along, and nobody had the tools to teach them how to. And the one time there was a fight, one final fight, because they'd been in like three pretty big fights. One caused my nephew to lose his job because his hand got injured very badly, and he had to not be on work for like 3 weeks, and he got fired. And then the last fight they had, Czar got his chest ripped open, the German Shepherd. And the pit bull had punctures on the top of his head, because the German Shepherd, Czar's mouth opens like an alligator, and he's a huge German Shepherd. But the most sweetest, he'd been abused as a puppy, wrapped, his legs wrapped with barbed wire. And so he isn't a vicious dog, even as a result of that. But anyway, he and the pit bull just couldn't get along. So we took the German Shepherd, and my son has him. Well, they have another dog. The pit bull is passed, and they have another dog that is pit bull and mastiff, I think. And he's a puppy, 10 months old, and he's a big puppy, but he's a puppy. But he's a tough little guy. And we want them to meet. And I watched the dog whisperer. That is who I base my any understanding of dogs on, and humans actually anymore, because he is so right on. And so I suggested that Czar, the German Shepherd, and the new dog, we go on a pack walk, or there's a pack walk where both dogs are walked by their owners, separately. And then they get to meet each other on leashes. And my nephew is like, let's just let them meet in the backyard. And I'm like, no, I can't do that. The terror I felt at that, because what I saw Czar go through, I just mentally and emotionally, he was wounded. I was wounded. We were all wounded after that. And so, I know that dog gets along. Czar, the German Shepherd, the one that is here, he goes on walk. Richard and him walk 2 to 4 times a day, and he meets all kinds of dogs. He's only growled at one dog, and that's a dog that growled at Richard. And so Czar was just saying, don't mess with my guy. Okay, don't mess with my guy. And so Richard and him just backed off and left. So, but I have PTSD over that, and I never can be in a situation where I see that dog fighting, or the result of it. It's too horrible. So anyways, PTSD is very real. I've got it for a couple of reasons, but yeah, it's not a fun thing to live with. Camping Therapy has a second channel called Privies and Prims. And I didn't know what that meant until she explained it to me. I thought it had to do with military. Oh, and I thought 30 and wake up was like wake him up 30 minutes before the show or so. I don't know. And he's military. So it's just, I didn't know what it means, but it's about, I know I'm going to get this wrong. So just go check it out. It has to do with something like needlepoint, but I don't think it's needlepoint. It's something else. Yeah, her trailer is beautiful. And it was her. And so I mentioned about all the work done on that. Me, my brother, my sister-in-law, the actual camper is 6x9, not including the tongue. Yeah, I don't see Richard and I living inside a 6x9, but it's so cute. It's like, I wish, here's something, Catherine, you want to hear craziness? Oh boy, she fell out. I always wish I could live. I wish we could travel. I know this is going to sound crazy, but in a in like a minivan, like a, I know it. I love I just love the way it looks. I can't help it. I can be an idiot, yes. Buckeye Kitty, my son Chunky and his fiance have been posting current stuff of their new trailer. I helped them get their very first travel trailer. Oh, that's sweet. Her first time going full-time life nomad. I'm so excited for them. Do they have a separate channel? If they do, you're welcome to share that with us. Okay. And I hope we get her back because I would like to think. So I'm going to be doing that is so okay. Yes, it is exciting. I'm going to ask some for my own knowledge. So I don't know how much experience y'all have. I know what experience Catherine and Homer have in Kepi therapy, and a little of Reds. Good evening to you. Oh, well, thank you very much, quiet listener, Victoria. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday afternoon, going into evening. I really would like to, well, Camp Goer 1. Well, hi, Linda. How's it going? The topic is mistakes that nomads make. And right now we were talking about tires and how things happen, and one of the mistakes is not to have, well, in Catherine and Homer's situation, they had the insurance, they had the towing, and still couldn't get a tow, even though they were not in the middle of nowhere. And I really do take issue with that, with their, I'm not going to mention their insurance company, but it's a national insurance, well known and whatnot. So the fact that they did not have somebody near Catherine and Homer it incenses me, because it's Arizona where there's a main road. They're trapped on a main road. Okay, so my question to throw out there is, I really, like I said, I don't believe we can tow something with Linda. I have to go back to Linda for a second. I checked to see if there was any recalls on our RV, and there is not. I finally did do it. Thank you for pushing me gently, courageously, but we have no recalls. So I really would like to have, I need a daily driver. Kaylee was making gentle fun of me, but my RV is not meant as a daily driver when we're parked somewhere. And every time we left, which was several times a week, we'd have to batten down the hatches every time. It's just a pain in the butt. And who wants to be hauling that around as a daily driver? To go see things, to be a tourist, or to blend in, by the way, to blend in and become part of a community for a period of time. So we will never have a gigantic amount of money. It's just the way it is. And I don't know what is like the least amount of, I don't know how to pose this question correctly. I'd like a trailer, I think. I'd like a trailer with a truck. And I think it still needs to be about 30 feet long. I do. I think about, because I just do. I need, at the very least, a walk-around queen bed. We could do the twins again with nothing in the middle, and that's impossible to find, really, because then there's no storage. I've looked and looked. Or a different Class C it still would have to be older and a small pull, tow. So anybody have experience with that? I would so love to know, get any kind of information. Hey, Richard, would you like to say hello? We're going to have and there's the camera.
You're kidding, it's in here?
The camera isn't here.
The camera's here. What would the camera be doing here?
I don't know.
Hi, everyone. See ya.
So, I think there's probably a question from Kaylee. Have you lost your mind?
I don't know. Where is it?
So the idea that you
There
would
it is. Oh,
think that all you need is a jack, that you would just be changing tires that might blow out on the RV.
I think so. If it happens, I would change it.
So we
I have the tire. I got the tools. I just don't got the jack.
so we don't have a jack for it, and so but you believe you can do it, correct? That's the point.
Yes,
That
I do.
it's safe for you to do.
It would be safe. Yes, it would. Okay. See
All
you
right.
guys. Nice seeing you.
Oh, not too bad. Red says hello, Richard, and so there we go. There will not be a jack. I'm not saying there will not be a jack, but I can guarantee you there will be no changing a tire on the side of the road or anywhere else. No, she wasn't in the military. I thought it was military. So that was just, I read the words privies and prims. For some reason, I thought that had to do with being in the military. That was my mistake. I have to go back and sit there for a second. I don't know why. I don't know why. I thought it was military. And then before we go, I'm going to show you where I'm at. No, they're okay. All right, cool. I will be going over there this evening to check out some stuff right after I'm done here. So you know what it looks like in there. I don't know if yeah, ideally that would be it. But if we take out that center cabinet, there is not much in the room to put clothes, really. Well, Homer and Catherine, I believe they had Good Sam. Oh, no, it was a national insurance. National, a big one. And they couldn't find anybody. And they were, not a whole big distance from Snowflake, I believe. I once thought my gas was leaking in the outhouses. It was my black tape. We have not, thank you God, had any trouble in that respect at this point. Gotta have a small tow. Yeah, I wouldn't mind a small, a very small vehicle to tow. But I don't think ours can tow. I just think it's not a big vehicle. I mean, it's not a big, giant engine. That was the problem with my Class C electricians. That's what my thought is that our Class C would not. It's not a newer vehicle. It doesn't have a big engine. I don't even think it's a V8. Oh gosh, I have an itch so bad on my arm. I don't think it's a V8, and I don't think I would try towing anything. Roy and Becky, howdy, howdy. Hello to you, Roy, or Becky, whichever one it is. I think it's Roy. Howdy, howdy. I'm glad you stopped by. He's doing okay, and he said he quit smoking today. He vapes, and he said, he considers it smoking because it's nicotine. He can't have this back surgery he really needs until he's completely clear of nicotine for 90 days. So, little pressure gauges that you can put on the wheels. Get those little pressure gauge tire gauges on the wheels. Yes. Oh, absolutely. I need to see. I'm going to write that down because I was going to look. I meant to check the price on that. to see what that would be to put those on. And do you put them on all six? I'm assuming they go on every tire or wheel, however it works. Chucky made sure to get me, and I always carry 12-ton bottle jack so I can jack my trailer. Yes, no, I agree. Having the jack is important. I just don't want him to be changing tires on it. I just think that it could be, we can't carry. We don't have room to carry like wood or anything to stack in order for stability. I really feel concerned about that. Okay, Catherine, you are, if you want to come back up, you're welcome to come back up. If you don't want to come back up, you don't have to come back up. I'm going to be closing out here shortly, but I do, in any essence, I want to thank you so much. We have a lot more coming from that interview with Catherine. Catherine, we had a long conversation about traveling and the things that happen, and so rather than do one long shot, I'm going to drop a couple a month of specifically theirs, of hers, and then we'll do a live stream after. Maybe I'll even just do them once a week, and not do a live stream once a week about it, but put out put out the videos that I had it. That's how Chucky was able to change my tire July 2nd when roads. So you're right. I mean, okay, so there's a good piece of advice. We do need to have that ability. Ideally, we don't have to, but you got in a bad situation like Catherine and Homer were in. The pressure gauges on wheels will also give you knowledge pressure of wheels. Okay? And that's important. Camping therapy, Camp Gore 1, you can get an add-on policy. Camp Gore 1, you can get an add-on policy. Okay? Red, my video about my gas tank link, LOL. Hey, Linda, you ready? Okay, we got someone else going to share some wisdom. Trust me, here's wisdom coming.
Wisdom, you're funny. I don't have a lot of wisdom. Well, maybe a little bit.
Well, you kept questioning me about did you check and see if you have a recall? Did you check it? And I should have checked long ago, but I hadn't. So I have now.
That's good, yeah, because you never know. I mean, like mine, could start fire right in the driveway without even being running. So it's a good thing that you checked.
Do you want to share what that is? I'm gonna put you on a solo layout. Do you want to share about that? Because that's a frightening thing.
It just is like a wiring harness that goes like from the battery to something else. It's up by the battery, and for some reason when they made the vehicle, something was like overheating. So they had a recall on it because the overheating could start a fire. Even if it's just sitting there in the driveway, it could start a fire. You got to go over there because you got this loud. My granddaughter's playing on her little phone. But yeah, I mean, it's important to check for the recalls because you just never know. I mean, it's safety. You know what I mean? I remember when I was coming back from Quartzsite, when I was taking care of Kenny that time, people had some big blocks of firewood on the back of their trailer.
Huh?
Oh my God, big chunks. I mean, we're talking big chunks of firewood that were so huge that if they would have bounced, because it bounced and bounced, and I had to pull over in another lane and, to keep going, that could like really tear you up, if not kill you, So yeah, you got to make sure. See, you were saying something about not having enough room and everything. What I did on my Toyota, because I got that 91 Toyota, I had the bumper extended a little bit, and I had a big box welded on the back of it.
Okay.
So one side it has doors. So one side is like enough to I could put a propane tank, and then on the other side the generator. So that kind of works, you know. Or a lot of people have they'll have like a soft pack, like you see those cars with the car top carriers on the top, and
Yeah.
they're soft. Well, you could get one of those, put it on the roof, secure it down, and use that for a little extra. I mean, not a lot, but you'd have to secure it down good, but that's just a thought. But I don't know. I thought that, I mean, I don't need a queen size bed or a full size bed in the back of mine. So it works out good with me and Sierra with the 2 twin beds, but you could probably cut your cabinet to go up like, enough where you can still hang shirts in the closet and use it still as a closet. And then you'd have your side closets in the back, plus all your cabinets on the other sides, the shorter cabinets for clothes and stuff. Or of course, you've got the cab over. You could put you could run yourself something in the back there in the front just to hang shirts or whatever, clothes and stuff like that. Have little plastic bins or whatever, secure them down. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that would be a good idea. That would work. That there are ways to do things. If you want to make it work, at most Richard could find a way. I mean, we could find a way to do that.
Yeah.
Because overall it's a good RV. I think the engine is strong as it is.
Is it E350? Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's plenty big enough to tow something. I told my dad's boat. It's like a 20-foot boat with my V6 Toyota, all the way from Wisconsin to Arizona.
Oh, wow.
Yep. The only thing that you have to remember is when you go off the mountains, okay, you don't want your transmission to overheat, because that's what I didn't know. I learned that real fast. Transmission 101. But you have to take it out of overdrive. If you're pulling through mountains, you got to take it out of overdrive. There's that little button that you push in. And I'm not sure if it's on our RVs or not. It might be another little lever or some other button somewhere. But anyhow, you got to take it out of overdrive, when you're towing up hills. If you're going straight away and it's not really hilly, as long as you're not hearing the engine, like, whoo, like it's louder than normal. Let's put it that way. Right. Then you're okay, but if you hear it kind of like sounding weird, then it's working too hard. It's not pulling out the transmission. Because I got broke down in New Mexico, pulling a trailer with my van. Yeah. Wow. I had a Ford Windstar, I think I had, and I was pulling a van with a lot of junk that I really didn't need. So I just was like, okay, well, I'll just take it to Arizona. I don't want to get rid of it. I'll take it to Arizona. But I got stuck in New Mexico, which I got lucky because the guy that the cop that came out, he had a guest house attached to his house in Albuquerque. And his wife was a social worker, kind of in the same field as I worked, in case management. And they let me stay there. Me and Sierra stayed there for 3 days. And he had a friend that was a mechanic, and he fixed my transmission for $900, and I was down the road.
Wow.
So, but I was going to say too, for anyone that has an RV, you always have to make sure, like, because at the time that I broke down, I didn't know that there's AAA, and then there's AAA plus there's AAA for RVs. Okay. So at the time, I thought I was getting AAA plus. No, they had me for regular AAA, and they were trying to charge me like $700 to go less than 50 miles. And I was like, no, I should have had AAA plus, and I was like, I travel, so why would I have something that only gives me a mile or two?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it didn't make any sense. But yeah, I kind of argued with the guy for a good hour and a half till finally he took what I gave him. I think I gave him $200 just to take me 50 miles. That was it, Yeah. And he was going to take it and tow it back to the Continental Divide. I was like, oh no, no, no! I will lay under the wheels of this van. You're not taking my fan. Yeah, it was a nightmare. So you got to make sure that you get the right towing package. You know what I'm saying? When you buy, towing. But yeah, the AAA Plus for RV is supposed to be good. But
So AAA Plus for RVs.
yeah.
Okay, that's a piece. I wouldn't have known there's a difference between AAA and AAA Plus. I didn't know that there's a difference as far as one's for RVs and one's for vehicles.
Yeah. Well, and then the AAA, that's if if you're just like live in a small area and you don't have, a lot of traveling and stuff like that, and you get stranded or whatever, if it's just a couple miles to the next service station. But AAA Plus gives you X amount. I think it's like 100 miles, but they have a AAA Plus for RVs, so that's even more so that they will come and get your RV with a bigger rig.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. That's good to know.
Yeah. It's If you don't, if nobody explains that, it's kind of, hit and miss to kind of figure it out, when you get it.
It's up to us to know what a policy, know what our policy will and will not do for us. I mean, I would probably ask them, look, so like when I have it again, I would ask for particular that let them know I have this and I would like to have the ability to be towed more than 10 miles,
Right.
For my RV.
Yeah. You got to tell them about the RV.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I see you said something here about cut up from the bottom of the closet to still have some closet. So that closet, is in the middle. It's between those twin beds. And it's got several drawers, like 4 drawers, I think. And then the big armoire part.
Right.
With the openers.
You know what you could do? Okay. So you know how you got the twin on one side, you got the closet drawers, and then you've got the other twin on the other side, and then the closet goes straight up. Okay. So if you cut that in half, put a bottom on that, you could still keep the bottom drawers. What I did, in the dinette, I wanted to make it so I could put it straight across because, if you try to make the dinette into a couch, it kind of sinks down a little bit. Okay. I didn't want that. I wanted it up and all level. Yeah. So what I did, I took a couple of 1x2s, and right where you put the lid on for the sides, you got the water tank on one side and you got that open space on the other. Right around that edging, all the way around there, before you put the lid on, get you some little 1x2s, and you can lift that up a little bit. But you could do the same thing in the back where the bedroom is. So you could still keep those drawers. You could even have a lift out if you wanted, put your like a 2x4 in between the middle and some T's down on the sides to support, and then have yourself a support in the middle. So if you wanted to like stash things, you still have a place to stash where those drawers are. And you wouldn't know that there was drawers under there.
Right.
Because nobody would see it except for it was there.
That's right. Yeah, they just think there's a bed there.
Right.
That's good. That's good thought. Now I'd have, you'd have to explain that to Richard because you lost me and I could have a bed and the drawer. So, but I believe you. I can believe you.
Yeah. This way. Because you know what I did? Okay, you know how our cabinets come down?
Yes.
On the sides, you walk in, you do cabinet, and they're kind of low. So if you put your head down at that end, you darn well better be ready to remember that there is a cabinet above you so you don't hit your noggin.
I know it. It's right there.
So what I did is they have these pads. They're about this wide, and they got stick-em on both sides. And you can put a pad underneath there. So if you do lay down on that side and you bump it, you're not going to hurt your head. You know what I mean?
Oh, that makes sense. And by the way, those 2 cabinets are useful. Totally. We put coats in one of them. I think we put little jackets that we had taken in one. And I took way too many clothes with me. I did not need As a matter of fact, here's a little thing that's happened since coming back from Quartzsite. Now, I I don't mind wearing the same pair of pants more than one time before I wash them.
Mhm.
That's never how it was. Okay, never how it was. Um, Clean every single time. Had to be washed every single time. Unless I've spilled something on it, I don't have to wash it the first time that I wear it.
Right. Right.
And learned that from traveling.
Yeah.
Seriously.
You know what a lot of other people do? Okay, right? Like in the shower, like say there's like you've got your thing where you got your shower curtain is. Okay,
Uh-huh.
a lot of people will get those suction cups, and if you have like lightweight shirts that you want to hang up, just get yourself a dowel and put it in the shower and just hang some up there. I mean, you don't have to have really heavy things, but if you wanted to just have some extra space, you could just hang them there. And then what I have, I don't know, do you have like a rack, like a wooden rack on the back of your door, on the back of your bathroom door?
I don't think so.
Okay, because mine's not. Yeah, it's like you can put towels in it or whatever.
Uh,
Yeah, so
I might have, yeah. I mean, because I know I did something with my towel and I didn't drop it on that nasty carpet.
right. I got that nasty carpet too. Yeah,
Mine's gone, but it's now, yeah.
yeah. Well,
So I just,
another thing that I do is I have this like a little thing. It's like a big pocket thing, and I hang it on the wall so I can put things in the pockets, and they're like big pockets, where you can store things in them.
yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
stuff like that, So yeah.
More good ideas. All right. Well, I'm going to drop you down. I'm going to show Red's. I found Red's video. I'm going to show that, and then probably what time is this? 4:35. Probably be closing it out here shortly. But
Okay, we'll see you later.
all right, dear. Have a good
Good to
day.
see you. Okay, you too. Okay, bye. Bye, guys.
There we go. All right. So I found your video, Red, and I'm going to pull that up here. Okay. Here it is.
It's raining again. See? Very happy to say this, but it's kind of funny. I'm hoping gas smell was not gas, but the guy was right that said some people confuse it with your black tank. I had given up being so conscientious about the black tank, and that might be why it started. So when you drive and it sloshes around, because the second time I smelled it when the gas was off when I was driving, so that didn't make any sense. But I had thought I turned it on and maybe the gas was into the pipes in the oven behind me. But when I opened up, and it kind of made sense that the smell would be in the bathroom because the stove is right next to the bathroom. See, the stove is here, and then the bathroom's in that room right there. But when I stopped yesterday and opened up the drawer in the bathroom that opens up into the below the stove, I didn't smell the smell in there. So I'm like, oh my goodness, he's right. That is funny. But a relief. That's some epic shit right there.
That's good. Okay. Let's see. Where did I? Okay. All right. So I didn't know, I didn't know. And Roy makes right here just a bit of information. Black tanks and boiling battery smells exactly the same. Are we talking the boiling, like when your battery overheats or something? Is that what you're saying, Roy? That's a very scary thought. 2 miles outside Taylor, Arizona. Yep, right by the airport road. I remember that. And so, all righty. I never had any serious skills. I was so secret thankfully for 2 years. I had it. I bought it in October 2020 and sold it in May of 2022. We have not really had any, and so glad I've got SRRs, founder one down. I will go check them out as well. We never had any serious issues. We had issues. Homer did the wheel bearings. Homer did the wheel bearings in our RV. All right, so do not tow with a 350 in ARV. Flat land is okay though. We have a 351 Windsor and can't tow with it. Both are small blocks. You need a big block like a 460 or 454. 460 or 454. Got that written down, Roy. I knew I had bad feeling, the idea. CoachNet for tire changing and towing. CoachNet. Yes, I have heard of CoachNet. We did not have them last time. We had another one. I can't. One of them was, we had two different things. We had Good Sam and another insurance. I bumped a trash can in Oregon, leaving the O20 meetup and took out my awning. And in Denver, I had a small storm mess up my vent covers. So a storm here in Oregon messed up, blew off, tore up a vent cover over our bathroom, I believe. All right, Charved Heart. Oops, sorry. I wanted to go back to Illinois to get those fixed. Then my cats were taken when those things were being fixed, but they replaced them. Then my cats were taken when those things were being fixed, but they replaced them. They brought your cats back? Somebody stole your cats? Very nice view of thumbnail. Is that your ring? No. Thank you for the thumbnail comment, though. My son did the thumbnail last night for me. He needed the computer for his own channel stuff, and so we made a deal. He knew what it was about, and he did the thumbnail. And he has a much bigger channel than me. Just saying. He does fun stuff all the time. By Camping Therapy, thank you, Doreen, for letting us show your video. You do your RV. It is so cute. It really is. All right, so I need to go because so last night I made dinner for Richard and I did a pork roast, some sweet potatoes with a nice brown sugar crunchy topping, and then and some like Mexican corn. And our son-in-law wanted to take us for dinner, and we went for. If you ever have any of you ever been to a Asian buffet? An Asian buffet. I've never been to an Asian buffet until last night. We went to an Asian buffet, and it was good. Have a good night, Buckeye. Thank you for coming. It was very good, and I would go back again, not on a regular basis, because I know that I had fluid retention. There was I only had one little Kaylee. I only had one little small thing of noodles, but everything has a lot. You could just taste the sodium, because sodium makes the world go round. I don't cook with salt, basically. I might take a little bit of sea salt and sprinkle on something, but I do not open up a salt shaker and go salt, salt, salt. I can't do that. And so I know today I felt a little bit fluidy. And so I wouldn't do it again. And so we will have another piece of the interview with Catherine, some more good information. I can envision Homer white knuckling, pulling that RV over off the road. And they were told by the police that had it happened a different way, Catherine probably would not have survived that crash, because if she was on the side that would have been over. And, that's a terrifying thought. All right. Only on, okay. So I get it. I've got those engines down. $200 in clams. Wow. So are you familiar with what happened to Catherine and Homer? They had coverage. And they were like where they just said, right near, I'm going to pull it up because this is ridiculous. I have to go back up here to Catherine and find the name of the town they were at, right outside of, 2 miles from Taylor, Arizona. All right, I'm going to pull up a map real quick. Arizona map. Okay. Taylor, Arizona. Taylor, Arizona. Okay, so I'm going to go back into StreamYard, and I am going to share the screen with the map. There we go. Share. Okay, so they were like right here. They were right by this airport. Now, I'm going to come on, go out. I'm going to go out on this map. Look where they were. That is not in the middle of nowhere, by the way. It's, Snowflake is right there. It's really, I was so surprised to find out that it was, they couldn't get towing. There was nobody they could get to come and get them. Their insurance company. When I say they, I mean the people who they pay for towing. I mean, they're not in the middle of nowhere. And so they just had to pull over by this airport road, right here, I think, right here, and wait. And it was just ridiculous. Seriously. So that was my point. It's not in the middle of nowhere. They should have been able to find someone to go get them. That's just me. If I were in charge of everything would be okay. All right. So, all right. Well, I want to thank you guys for showing up today, and just be looking for more videos on Catherine and Homer, their wild adventures, and they really need to have a channel. I think they would do. I think it would be fun. I think they would have a fun channel, and I encourage them all the time. I always tell them, please, 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 have a channel. Just do something. Even cover schoolies. Wow. All right. Well, there you go. I mean, that is impressive. Wowee. You may have to wait. I understand that, but for a big insurance company to say we can't get you anybody. Good idea. Good idea. Maybe I could schedule that. All right. So I got to go. So I got what I was going to say is, oh, Naj, hello to you. So glad you stopped in and that we're here. And good to see you. I had made dinner last night. I had this whole dinner made for Richard and I sitting on the stove, and Josh is like, I really want to take you to dinner. And I said, well, I already have dinner. Why don't you and Alex go to dinner instead? And he's, no, I really would like to take you guys to dinner. I said, but I got dinner made. Well, so we've got dinner for tonight already ready to go. Just has to be rewarmed. But that's what's up. I'm just looking quickly at RV repair place. My cats were stolen, but their insurance covered it. They replaced them right before I went. Your cats were stolen at their... That's really... they would wish to God they had not stolen my animals. Serious. I take my animals serious, which I'm sure you do too. Lots of salt and Asian food. It was so good. I had never known we had an Asian, but he lived in San Francisco for 20 years before he moved here. And they had several. He went to several. And craving barbecue chicken. Yeah. No, we've got a pretty healthy meal waiting for us. Here, I did put green chilies in it, a can of green chilies, a small can, in our Mexican corn. All right, so I'll just keep going and going. Roadside assistance through insurance companies are a joke. That's what they dealt with. From what I'm gathering, it was a major insurance company, and yes. Okay, so maybe we could do a co video or co live stream about insurance companies, Roy. I can do some research. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Thank you. Because I'm like, I'm not thinking in terms of mechanics. When somebody says cats, I'm thinking of my baby cats. You know, I don't have any cats right now, but I've had cats my whole damn life. And if somebody stole my cats, but I get it. Catalytic converters are very expensive. Yes, can be very expensive. Woo! All right, Catherine, love you. Thank you so much. And you're very appreciated. Very appreciated. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Oh, boy. Yeah. Well, all right. So, Richard's hungry, and we got to go. All right, you guys, thank you so much for showing up. Thank you, Roy, for clarifying it wasn't kitty catties, but makes sense when it's at a mechanic shop and cats were taken. Okay. All right. So I say this every time. I mean this. Find out what your passion is. There's got to be a passion in life. It doesn't mean you got to travel, that you got to go dig, whatever. You paint the Sistine Chapel. A passion is a passion for whomever has that passion. And it's important. I'm finding for myself to have a passion and be able to participate in it. People are generally my passion. And I appreciate each and every one of you. So please stay safe, stay healthy. Oh,
The garden hole.
here's some. Richard went out and picked vegetables. Oh God, here's a tomato. What are the little tomatoes?
There's raspberries on the bottom, so be careful.
Okay, that was delicious. And here's a green pepper. And then, okay, these look hot. Let me find one. These look hot. These are not hot. This one is not hot. And I don't see any of those peppers that almost killed me.
They're not red yet.
They're not ready yet. But I'm going to have one more of these. Sweet. Stay safe. Love you guys.